Hello, Captain Foley. Emily Inkpen reporting into Trekyards the day after the Section 31 premiere in London. I have views. It was not what I expected.
Thank you, Emily, out in the field. Hi guys, I'm Captain Foley from Trekyards. That, of course, was our roving reporter, my good friend Emily Inkpen, who was at the premiere of Section 31 in London, England last night with, well, this is coming out on Friday, so it would have been Wednesday night, but that's fine. With Q&A at the end with Michelle Yeoh and Robert Kazinsky, who played Zeph. So we're going to dive into that, get her thoughts on this, hear her views on what she saw, and then we're going to get into the Q&A. There's no real spoilers or anything in any of this, so don't worry if you're worried about spoilers, don't worry about that. But I thought it was great that she was going, and it was just kind of fortuitous that we got in touch with each other and when we did, and she decided to do this for me, and I really appreciate it. So thank you, Emily. She is an author of the Dex Legacy, which you can find on podcasts everywhere. I will share links at the end of the video and in the description down below if you want to check out her work. But she's fantastic, and I really want to thank her very much for doing this for us. So without any further ado, let's get into it and let's hear her. She filmed two separate ones for me of her thoughts on the Section 31 movie, which is coming out very soon. So anyway, let's check it in. Let's check it in. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. That's what I meant to say. Going back to the field with our roving reporter, Trekyards roving reporter, Emily Inkpen. Take it away, Emily.
Hello, Captain Foley. Emily Inkpen reporting into Trekyards the day after the Section 31 premiere in London. I have views. It was not what I expected. Given what Section 31 is, and given who Philippa Georgiou is, I was expecting something a lot darker. I was expecting gritty, sort of potential violence and, yeah, darkness outside Federation control, or like, beyond the, core Federation, where values get murky, morals get murky. It was, morals were murky, but the story itself was fun and silly, and that took me by surprise. They could have gone in the really far dark sort of approach to this, but instead they went in the opposite direction, and yeah, that was an interesting choice. The performances were excellent. Everybody was amazing. They were clearly having a ball during filming, and yeah, obviously Michelle Yeoh, just goddess, and she's amazing. The precision of her delivery is masterful and a joy to watch. Rob Kazinsky's character, last year people caught sight of his costume and thought he was a Borg. He is not a Borg. He is definitely not a Borg. The type of character that he was playing actually aligns quite a lot with interest in my own work at the moment in the Dex Legacy and the spin-off series Wasteland, which I've been working on. So yeah, watch Section 31 and listen to the Dex Legacy to see the connections between those two. But his character was excellent, and he was there last night for a Q&A with Michelle Yeoh. So much energy, such a massive fan of the franchise, so knowledgeable about the franchise as well. So a genuine fan embedded in it, which is, it's great to see. Yeah, a lot of fun. If you're looking for something darker, more political, more serious, watch it with an open mind, a very open mind. It's not that. If you're looking for fun and an antidote to what's going on in the world at the moment, and yeah, something less serious, then this is exactly what you're looking for.
So that was her full review, the more thought out one, I think. But the first one she sent me was also really good. It's a little bit shorter, but there's a lot in it that I really like. So we're going to show you the second one as well. And hopefully you enjoy it as much as this last one. So let's get into that one right now.
Hello, Captain Foley. This is Emily Inkpen reporting into Trekyards the morning after the Section 31 premiere, which was a lot of fun. lots of loud music, lots of drinks and everything after the screening and the Q&A, which made it very difficult to do anything like this, which I think was their intention. Probably they wanted everybody to go home, think about it, and and then report, which I am now doing dutifully. So what are my feelings on Section 31 the day after seeing it? It's different. It's going to divide people. It's not what I was expecting. I was expecting something darker, grittier, the sort of the direction that Discovery went in the early days was quite dark. It was quite, it was quite gritty for Star Trek standards. They went in completely the opposite direction. It's fun and it's silly, and yeah, I mean, if you're after that kind of thing at the moment, absolutely can understand why you would be. The world is, not the best right now. So if you are after an escape, if you are after something like Guardians of the Galaxy meets The Fifth Element meets Mission Impossible, this is totally the movie for you. Go and see it. Keep an open mind. Think fun. Not every Star Trek fan is going to love it, although that would be an impossible ask. You can't please every Star Trek fan. That's crazy. Every time something new comes out in Star Trek, it's divisive. People have opinions, people have thoughts. I mean, yeah, it's close to everybody's hearts, and it's too close to please everybody at this point. If you want some fun, go and have some fun. Watch this movie. If you want something serious and political and deep, maybe sit this one out. That's my advice. Okay.
Well, thank you, Emily. I appreciate that. So there you go. You got her thoughts on it. Not as dark and gritty as she expected. Not what she expected. It was kind of a fun ride, which is encouraging. That's good to hear. I know a lot of people are kind of done with the darkness in Star Trek. And yeah, being out of Federation space and, not having the guidelines of Starfleet could open up a lot of darkness. I'm glad to hear that that's not really the case. I'm super excited to see this. It is coming out on January 24th, streaming on Paramount Plus, so check it out. But now let's get into the Q&A section of the show. There are a few audio pops here and there. It was just a little bit of a issue with the microphone. It's not through the whole thing, so check it out. There's no real spoilers, as I said. And yeah, it's Michelle Yeoh, who plays Philippa Georgiou, of course, and Robert Kazinsky, who plays Zeph on stage. So it's not the entire Q&A, but there's a good large chunk of it, and I want you guys to check it out. And if you don't want to and you want to wait till after you see the movie, please do that as well. Come back to this video and check it out. But yeah, it's a pretty good watch. So let's get into that right now.
Welcome, guys. Welcome. Let's all take a seat. Let's all get comfortable. Guys, it's so nice to see you. Thank you very much for joining us. How are we both? Who wants to go first?
Just, ready to feel judged.
Good, ready to feel judged. So is this the first time you guys have actually seen the entire film?
Yes.
Ooh.
No.
Is it the place to go, how did you find it?
How did you find it?
How did you find it?
I really liked it, okay. I'm biased, but that's okay, right?
Well, it's really exciting to do this because obviously we've seen Emperor Philippa Georgiou in Discovery. We've seen a lot of the dark side of her. We've seen the mirror of her as well as the captain. And so now we get to see a lot of the sort of horrid backstory of things that have gone on involving family murder and severing ties. So when you were having to come up with the sort of evil backstory of her in Discovery, did you picture any of this?
No, that was Craig too.
Okay.
That was totally him. Jojo did such a brilliant job. And I must say, Tunde really brought it home. Tunde is our director. She was gorgeous.
I mean, it's really interesting to see it because I recently rewatched Discovery, And so to get these sort of extra little tidbits of the Emperor, I think it's really, really nice. And the fact that we got to start the film off reliving those moments. And it's, you know, a tragic way to kick it all off. But then we jump straight back into badass Philippa Georgiou. So what's it like to embody a character like that, especially with both the badass moments, but also the vulnerable moments like we see at the end of the film?
I think for me, really, the badass just takes over completely. I'm so sorry. It's just like, it's so liberating to be able to play a character like that who's so unapologetic and just goes out and say, yeah, get what I want. The end. But I think the most important thing is, like, along the way for Philippa Georgiou, Emperor Philippa Georgiou, was to find friends, people that she could actually trust. Because in the mirror universe, there's no one you can trust. Not even your own daughter, not even no one, basically. You're on your own. It's like this survival mode. But while she was in Discovery, she met Michael Burnham, she met the rest of the crew there, and she discovered that there's humanity. And this journey for her is really about redemption. And do we really get a second chance? And when you are given a second chance, can you really take it? Can you forgive yourself? Forget about other people forgiving you. You know, can you take that step into saying that I deserve to be forgiven, I deserve a second chance, and I can do better?
We see quite an accepting version of the Emperor in this, because throughout Discovery there's a lot of back and forth, you know, where you can see her wrestling with, I'm a badass, or I actually still care for these people. But in this, there's very much the acceptance of both sides. There's still the massive badass side, but you're very happy to own the vulnerability in the character in this film.
I think you have to. I think that's what I love about this character, right from the beginning. When I was given the opportunity to play the beloved Captain Philippa Georgiou, where she was a really good mentor, leader, compassionate, but, you know, tough. But then you meet someone like this who was so entitled, who so believed that, you know, this is how it is. And there was so much fun in that character, playing that character as well. But at the end of the day, it was so lovely that the ones who disapproved of her turned around and wanted her to be better. And I think that is a very interesting journey. And sometimes in life, that's the journey that we partake in.
Well, very profound way of finishing that question. But you're absolutely right. Now, Rob, I want to come over and talk to you, but before I do, you'll notice that two of us are wearing Section 31 pins, but one of us on stage is not.
And I'm the Emperor. What the hell?
I brought one for you so that you can join us. That way, you know. But Rob, tell us about yours, because you've actually had this made for you by someone, haven't you?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I wasn't to be expecting, but I was like, you know, when we rap, surely they're going to give us all the Section 31 pin, and they didn't. And I was like, this is too important to me. Like, Star Trek is my life. It's my world. It's the thing I love. And I'm not leaving here without a goddamn badge. So I paid an enormous amount of money to have one made. No, I made one for me and one for Tunde. I would have made one, but it was $300. I will ask my friend Neil to make you an offer. You know what?
Now, Rob. It's happened in real life, and now all three of us get to
MVP. Method, I swear.
Now, Rob, you are an enormous Trekkie. Backstage, when I met Rob, I was with my friend Chloe, and they spent maybe 20 minutes, just the two of them, discussing the philosophy of the trill. Yeah, and it was genuinely amazing just to stand back and watch this and go, oh my God, this guy loves
I don't support the trill.
Is this your political stance coming through?
It is. That's the thing, it's political. It is. It's an entire society where people are groomed to allow the elitist, powerful few to take over their bodies. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
Welcome to the real world.
Like, I don't know. I was talking about the Data moment.
Yes, you were, yeah.
You know, there are things that have aged poorly in Star Trek, and you know, do you remember the episode of TNG where they come across that spaceship and
Let's not go into this.
Let's not get into that.
I think people know where I'm going.
Probably, yeah.
There's a bit.
But what is it that you've always loved so much about Star Trek? How long have we got?
You know, I was asked this question about what makes Star Trek such an enduring thing for people. I was asked this earlier, and I then came on sort of the cuff. But I'm going to try and repeat it, even though it's not so spontaneous now. It's feeling quite prevalent to me at the moment, the way the world is. You know, we're living in a post-truth world. We're living when truth is whoever says it first, whoever says it loudest, whoever says it most. And, you know, there's that famous Goebbels quote, if you repeat a lie enough times, eventually it becomes the truth. We're living in a time where our societies and the systems that we've relied on are failing us. Capitalism is eating us. We're falling to global unrest, and we're feeling very lost and unmoored. But what Starfleet and Star Trek presents us with is a time where we've got past that. Where, and to quote Picard, as I did earlier, you know, the fundamental duty of every Starfleet cadet is to the truth, whether that is scientific truth, historical truth, or personal truth. I know my shit. and that is the guiding fundamental principle upon which Starfleet and therefore Star Trek is founded. And what it presents us is this too shall pass, this moment in time where we are so torn. Why wouldn't you want to escape that to a world that's saying, hey, we're gonna be all right. And we're going to be all right to such a degree that we will never need a Section 31 again. We will never need these kind of things. We will be living better and kinder. And if you can't get behind that, and if you don't want to spend your days in that, I don't know, man.
We need Section 31.
Yeah. We need Star Trek, and we need for Starfleet to exist, you need Section 31.
And you went on at Comic-Con about this. You almost did a TED talk on it. You said it's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
But what was the quote? It's easy to be a saint in paradise.
It's the Cisco quote of it's easy to be a saint in paradise, which he was referring to, you know, in the Pale Line to the Maquis, and about how the Maquis don't have the luxury of living the way that we do in the Federation, that safety. And, you know, here's why I think Section 31 is the most interesting thing in the world. Right? And it's not just because I'm being paid to say it, but we are in a world, we're in a universe where there's the Dominion, where there's the Romulans, where there's, you know, the Klingons, where there's all of these things who don't live by the ethos of the Federation. They don't embrace those same things. We're dealing with people that have gone in different directions politically and different machinations, the Terran Empire and all of these things. And you cannot have a society that isn't prepared for those. It is wonderful that the people in the Federation get to live like that idealistic way, but to keep them safe, there has to be people on the frontier ensuring that they can stay safe. Now, where Section 31 oversteps, I mean, in every show that there's ever been, is when it starts to affect the Federation and the way the Federation itself is functioning. It's not where Section 31 should be. They should be on the frontier, keeping the people safe. And that's what I think is so interesting to play with, and what's going to become so fascinating if Section 31 goes on to be many more movies. So, yeah, that's, I'll shut up.
Well, I mean, it's yeah, there's a good applause there. Because it is nice to see someone so passionate. Let's actually talk about your moments within the film rather than the philosophy side of it. But so we obviously saw you. We saw you as a sort of machinated guy, you know, wearing your mech. Now, we talked backstage about this. Talk to us about the mech suit. I must also ask, is it like when you pick up a power drill? You have to make the noises.
I didn't.
Is it a bit
I
like
still
that?
haven't stopped. Everything I do, I go to the toilet. It just doesn't. It's never ending. The suit was. We were talking about it, and I'm going to get to the point. Like, how long were you filming? 5 months? 4 months? 5 months? Yeah, it didn't get washed once. There's only one suit. But again, not so bad for me. How was it the suit for you? Yeah, to be fair. It was stinky, and it weighed a ton, and it was agonizingly painful, and it weighed 50 pounds.
50 pounds?
50 pounds.
Great.
But it was by far the most comfortable one of those suits that I've ever worn. They had a P-flap, like I've already mentioned. My first one on Pacific Rim, which was kind of the progenitor of these kind of suits, did not have a P-flap. They did not think about that, and that cost us some, moments in time.
Nobody ever thinks about the P.
Nobody thinks about the people.
I've often said
and
that.
she makes me a little threat, I'll give you a kick in the chest. And I'm like, I'm here. I just realised I'm cosplayed as this chair. But yeah, I'm here, and Michelle is 4 inches in front of me. And I'm like, yeah, go on then, Michelle. And she just spinning back kicks me in the chest from here. And it hurt. And I was so impressed by that. I was like, holy shit. She's the real deal kind of thing. Like, don't piss her off. Like, Jesus. I mean, Philippa Georgiou is cool. Michelle Yeoh, cool.
I guess you've got to set that day one. Don't mess with me on this set. I'll roundhouse kick you in the chest.
In the chest is good. It's too bad.
I was lucky it was in the chest.
Well, actually, you guys have sort of brought me on to another question I want to ask, because there's a lot of really fun dialogue in this, and like you said, you guys clearly all bonded as well. But there's that real sort of back and forth, like that group have been together doing this ragtag team for a while. So you've already mentioned this, but was it also really fun for yourself on set? With
At the beginning, no, hell no.
Really?
I don't do improv. I know. But I think Tunde created such a great atmosphere between us. And when you have someone like Sam, he sweats on call. I go up to him and I stare at him and you see a droplet of sweat. He's so funny. So we had a really, really good rapport between all of us. And that was really nice.
Was that just instant then? Because you said it was instant.
Casting director deserves
all the kudos.
Oh yeah, putting the right people together.
The first scene where it's all of us in the spaceship and we're all getting introduced and telling the story and stuff, that was day one.
Really?
Yeah, and for us, you had 1 day previous with torturing Joe. Day one, when all of us were in there, that was the first time we were in costume, and that was the first time we were doing anything, and it was like a 5-page scene or 12-page scene, I can't even remember. But that was the day we were all like figuring it out and like testing each other's boundaries and being like, okay, what is this? And then realizing that Tunde shoots with 3 cameras, which means, we can improvise. And Craig Sweeney being like, we'd come up with.
Well, there you have it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that Q&A. If you stuck around to the end here, thank you so much. I'd like to thank Emily again for, being out there and boots on the ground, getting the footage and getting her thoughts on things. She's a very talented writer, so I appreciate her input and her review. I really think that she was kind of worried that she's not good at kind of summing things up, but I think she did a really good job. So I'd like to thank her again. Be sure to check out her work as well. Her name is Emily Inkpen. You can find her on all the social media sites. And check out her series, The Dex Legacy, which is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's actually available on all podcasts. There will be links down in the description below, so you can go check that stuff out and support her, because I would really appreciate that. She's pretty awesome. So, but yeah, check out her work on The Dex Legacy and give her a big thank you in the comment section. I'm sure she'd really appreciate it, as I did. And thank you guys for watching. You know the routine now. You have to hit the like button. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, which is the Captain Foley personal channel, as well as the Trekyards channel. Go subscribe to Trekyards if you haven't already, because we will be doing a full review of this movie, and we love our ships and tech, so we'll be covering anything that's in this over there. So go check that out. I'd really appreciate that, and so would Sam. And if you want to see our detailed review of the movie ourselves, that'll be coming up the weekend after it's released. So check that out and come and join us live for a live discussion and review on it. We'd really appreciate it. So yeah, hit the like, subscribe to Trekyards, of course, for your Star Trek goodness, and make sure you subscribe to this channel and check out another video by me as well while you're at it, because you're here. If you like me, check out another video. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. Have a good day. Bye, everybody.